Hello, hello. So excited to see you guys. It's in the middle. Wow, we're in August already. It's kind of crazy to think that we're starting a new homeschool year very soon. Maybe some of you have started already. I don't know. I am so glad to be just chatting with you for a few minutes today. I'm Abby Banks, and you can find me at 4onemore.com and 4onemore.teachable.com and the Homeschool with Moxie podcast. My focus is on inductive Bible studies for homeschoolers, entrepreneurial courses for teens, and strategic workshops for moms. I've been homeschooling, I guess this fall we're starting our 14th year. We just graduated our oldest, and there are four more to go. So we are in the thick of it, just like you are. But what I know is some of us, and I know a lot of times it happens with very new homeschool moms. We are so overwhelmed. We see all these posts on social media about homeschool schedules, and we think we have to have this rigid schedule, and we think, how in the world am I going to keep up with four kids who all need to do all their subjects? And so I'm here today to really give you a break from overthinking it and to give you my best tips. And I'm not going to deep dive, but I'm going to give you a bunch of links afterwards in the comments where you can learn more. I am really think that the best way to homeschool is to simplify. So many of us are trying to overcomplicate it. We are taking our public school mindset and putting it into our homeschools, and most of the time it doesn't work well. So here are my best tips that maybe will give you an aha moment, and you might want to dig deep into some resources later. But here is what I found going into our 14th year of homeschooling with many kids. Here is what I have found to work the best for homeschool scheduling. So you're thinking about your schedule. What do I need to know? Here are my top tips. Number one, I want to ask this question because this is really key. Do your kids know what to do next during your homeschool day? Now, you as the mom, you might have this awesome homeschool mom planner and you know what to do next and you know what the plan is, but your kids can't read your mind and they're probably not reading your planner. And so if you haven't communicated with them, you're likely to have a big mess with your homeschool routines. And so what I say is, you don't need schedules, right? Most of us will not function well if we say 8 o'clock is math, 9 o'clock is reading. Like, what happens when you wake up and someone doesn't feel well? What happens when there's a disruption? What happens when you have to run a quick errand during the day? That messes up your flow. I think we need to embrace the freedom that comes with homeschooling, and instead of doing strict schedules, I think we need to do routines. And so, do your kids know the routine? In other words, when they wake up, do they know what they should do? Do you want them to get breakfast? Do you want them to get their shower and get dressed first? Do you want them to sit on the couch and read first? Do you want them to start working on something independently? Or do they do their chores? Did I already mention that? Like, what is your flow? And this is what I mean by, do your kids know what to do next? It's a flow. It's not necessarily, look at the time, it's 9 o'clock, we rush and do science, even if we're not ready for science. It's what is your flow? So you need to communicate that with your kids. And how do you communicate it? I have two of my very favorite tools, and here's what they are. For the younger crowd, like elementary age, and I mean, this depends on your kid's maturity level, but kindergarten all the way up to, depending on their maturity level, 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, I think workboxes are an amazing tool to use. Workboxes are generally just drawers or boxes where in one drawer is one subject or one task, and you have everything in there for that task. So if in math they need a ruler and they need manipulatives and they need their math workbook, you put all that in the drawer. So this cuts down on like running around the house to find what you need for each subject. And it also is a visual for your kids where if they have 6 boxes each day, they're like, okay, when I finish these 6 subjects, I know I'm done my school day. And usually you can also say, like, you can do them in any order. So your kids can generally jump around. I feel like doing math right now. I feel like doing spelling. And so workboxes are a great visual for younger kids. They keep you organized. You can put their work in there for the next day, and kids tend to love this. It's giving them a bit of responsibility for their day. Instead of 4 kids whining at you and saying, "Mom, what do I do? What do I do?" Have you ever had a day like that where everyone is calling mom and they all need your help because they don't know what to do next? If you set up work boxes, they know what to do next. And I'll put links when I'm done. I have a workbox packet that helps you set it up if you're interested in checking that out. For the older kids, my absolute favorite tool is Trello. Trello.com is absolutely free. It's a way to keep track of lists online, and this is how my teenagers keep track of their week. And I have a ton of videos that walk you through how to use Trello. I won't belabor the point, but you can find them on my site at 4onemore.com/Trello. And I walk you through it. My teens love it. We have used it for many, many years. And that's how they organize their day, their week. This is how I communicate with them about what their tasks are. I set it up once for the year and I don't touch it. I don't touch it again unless I have to make a change. So that means I'm not spending all weekend writing out kids' schedules and writing out in a teacher planner book what everyone's doing next week. With 5 kids and working from home and doing all sorts of other things with my time, I don't have time for that. So if you would love to break free of that teacher planner book or spending all weekend planning for next year, these are the tools you need to use in your scheduling. Okay. The next few points are going to go quicker. So number 1 is, do your kids know what to do next in the flow or in the routine of your day? Number 2, when you're setting up a schedule, well, I use the word schedule. Once again, it's more like a flow or routine. Remember that homeschooling takes a lot less time than traditional school. If you're very new to homeschooling this year, or maybe you've done it for 1 year, you probably noticed you're a lot more efficient and productive. So when you're scheduling out your day, remember it doesn't take that much time. Some people on social media are saying, my kids are taking 10 hours doing school. Is that normal? And they're like in 2nd grade. No, that's really not normal. And it's probably burning you all out. So remember, it doesn't take as much time. You're much more efficient. They don't have to do that whole page of math problems if you know they understand it after 5, So really, be in control of your day. Don't let the curriculum boss you around. Number 3, a really great thing to do with your schedule is to realize that you can homeschool multiple ages together, especially in K through 8. So a great way to do this is a morning time where you gather everyone and you do a whole bunch of subjects together. It's efficient. It really makes your schedule streamlined. It takes a lot of pressure off you. I mean, I have 5 kids. Back in the day when they were mostly younger, we literally did everything together except for their individual math and individual language arts. Everything else was together. And we were able to knock out a whole bunch of subjects really effectively in the morning together when we were all fresh. And then, we went off on our independent work and then kids were done for the day. You don't have to belabor individual subjects for every kid if you don't want to. All right, so that's number 3. Number 4, realize that when you're scheduling, your high schoolers should be highly independent, and this is your goal. You want to work yourself out of a job as a homeschool mom. So really, don't think if you have a whole bunch of kids and half of them are in high school, you shouldn't need to be hands-on with those high schoolers very much. Your younger kids obviously need more hands-on with mom, but the older the kids get, they are highly independent. And so when you're figuring out your flow of your day, you can take that into account. It's mainly demanding on you for the kids who can't read yet and the younger ages. But as your kids get older, I hardly see my high schoolers all day. They're off. They are focused and motivated because they know they have a task to do and they've learned over the years to take responsibility for their own education. So those of you that are homeschooling little kids, take hope that your older kids will be independent and you really can get some of that time back during the day where you're not needing to be hands-on homeschooling the entire day. And then finally, a little point number 5, realize that it's easier to homeschool when you're in charge of the curriculum rather than using a totally online or video-based grade level curriculum or like a cyber school kind of thing. I know many people transitioning out of public school went with cyber school because they felt like all the teaching was done for them. But I hear from so many families that it doesn't work. It's so there's no freedom, there's no flexibility, and their kids, quite frankly, got tired of sitting in front of the computer all day. So if that happened to you, realize that you will have a much easier schedule and routine if you take control of the education. It doesn't mean you can't outsource. It doesn't mean you can't take an online math class, online science class, or whatever. But when you're in charge and you're not just getting one curriculum with all day online, you really can have a more peaceful kind of homeschool schedule because you're in charge of your day, not an outside source. So that's something to think about if that was kind of giving you some stress this past year. And I just want to mention a few resources for you if you want to deep dive. I'll put links in underneath this video when we're done to check out Trello, to check out workboxes. If you are new to homeschooling and you would love a month by month help, a simple plan to keep you on track, walk through a topic with you each month, then I want to invite you to join the Homeschool Mom Collective. You can try it out for only $1 for the month of August if you use the coupon code $trial. You can find it by going to 41more.com/membership. In this membership, I walk through one topic a month. We bring in experts. I mean, we give you a ton of value every single month to help you in your homeschooling. And this month, the month of August, we're actually tackling our schedules, routines, and chore systems so that when we start homeschooling, we have it all down. Like it's going to flow. We're going to have more peaceful homeschools because we've set up some systems ahead of time. And so if you would love that personalized help and a community of moms to be able to talk about these things, definitely check us out. I'll put the link below. And then also, I invite you to subscribe to the Homeschool with Moxie podcast for weekly inspiration. And I'm really all about actionable strategies to take you from overwhelmed to confident in your homeschool adventure. So check us out on the Homeschool with Moxie podcast. We talk to a ton of really interesting people in the homeschool world who can help us be more productive and more efficient and actually to enjoy our homeschooling. Sometimes we get so frazzled in the details, we forget to enjoy being home with our kids. So that's a really big thing. So as you go about setting up your schedules, really think about, do your kids know what to do next in their day? That's a key element. If they don't know what to do next, you have to find a way to communicate that visually, online with Trello, workboxes, however it works. They have to know so that everything is not on you to keep the homeschool day flowing. Number 2, realize this changes throughout the years from K through 8 and then 9 through 12. Your goal is to set up your kids to take more responsibility every single year for their homeschool day. And they really can. Even your upper elementary kids can really be quite independent. And so that is your goal. Get them really owning in on their own education. And so these are some of our best tips. Make your day flexible because we just don't know what's going to come up in a homeschool day, do we? And so I think if you set up a routine that's very flexible, you don't feel like you ever are behind because you just pick up where you left off. These are just as a tip of the iceberg, but I invite you to check out links I'm going to leave when I'm done to deep dive into some of these topics. What questions do you have about scheduling your new homeschool year? Leave them below, and I'm sure we'd all love to chime in with some solutions. Have an awesome day.